All right, you guys. So today we are going to get a look at the Clone Trooper Kamino from the Black Series line of figures. And we're going to start with the box. So getting you a look at the box, we're going to start with our Black Series logo at the top, the Black Series just underneath that, our figure in the plastic window with his weapons, very cool. And then we have Star Wars, the Clone Wars on the orange banner, Clone Trooper Kamino underneath that, our warning label, 4 and up, Hasbro, very cool. Let's get a look at the side of the box. And then off to the side of the box, we have our illustration of the Clone Trooper with a gray background of Kamino just behind our Clone Trooper. And then we have our Clone Trooper, and then it kind of blends into a orangish, yellowish color that fades out. And then we have Clone Trooper underneath that and Kamino, very nice illustration on the side of the box. And then on the back of the box, we have Clone Trooper Kamino with our illustration of the Clone Trooper off to the side. He is #1 Star Wars, the Clone Wars. This is gonna be the first one for the Clone Wars version of the Black Series. So the numbering system is gonna be just a little bit different. We're not gonna have a consistent numbering system throughout the full line of Black Series figures, which is really interesting. And then of course we have our attention information and all of our other readables at the bottom, Hasbro, Disney logo. And then of course we have our description of our Clone Trooper, and we're gonna get a read of that information. The Republic Clone Troopers represented the future of the galactic warfare. So symbolic were they of the times. The galaxy-wide conflict that saw their debut took its name from their ranks, the Clone Wars. So really cool description of our Clone Trooper Kamino figure. Very, very awesome. Of course, on the other side of the box, we just have our Black Series logo at the bottom with the banner that wraps around, and then of course the window that wraps around as well, and then back around to the front. So guys, let's go ahead and pull this figure out of the box, get a look at the detail and all of the articulation, the accessories, and then of course we'll get some pictures together and put our figure in a diorama setting, as you can see with the background. All right, you guys, so we have our figure out of the box, and he is per usual our typical clone figure. However, I have not had an opportunity to look at the articulation. We will get a look at the articulation in just a moment, but just from first appearances, obviously the biggest difference would be the Kamino colors, which is just a plain white and gray color scheme. So let's get a closer look at this figure and get a look at the detail. So getting you a look at some of the detail here on our Kamino Clone Trooper is really, really awesome. And I'm assuming that is the Kamino symbol, Clone Trooper symbol there on the shoulder. Just assuming that. I haven't heard that, or no one has told me that. It's my first time actually seeing that symbol, so that's really awesome. But again, you have the gray and white color scheme on the chest plate, the belt, stripes on the side going across the thigh, around the back. You have the stripes on the bicep as well. The gray shoulder pad, again with the Kamino Clone symbol. And then in the helmet, you have more gray striping, gray over the mouth area on the sides. Just really, really nice job. And lovely detail. I love that. Love the detail there on the helmet. That's nice. On the back there. Really nice stuff there. So really, really cool stuff. So getting you a look at the articulation for our figure, he's going to give you a straight arm out like so. It's going to give you an elbow bend that goes back about that far, which is really awesome. You have your 360 360 motion in the arm. Your Kamino Clone is going to give you a T-pose like so, which is really awesome. And one of these, for the shoulder pad, they've given you a softer plastic, more of a rubber texture, as you guys can see there. So it allows you to get the arms in that T-pose. So that's really, really awesome. Your twist is gonna be at the elbow. You have a twist at the elbow. Also the twist in the wrist. You have your hinge in the wrist. So there's a hinge in the wrist there for you. And then the hinge on the other side. It's gonna give you your back and forth articulation. Very, very cool stuff. In the leg area, your clone is gonna kick out about that far. Leg only goes up about that far, unfortunately, because of the armor there. And then your knee high, it's gonna be about that high. And then going back with the leg, I believe he can only go about that far. It does look like a double hinged knee, but the pad is actually attached to the thigh. At least I believe it is. I tried to remove it and it didn't seem removable. So I'm assuming this is as far back as you can go without damaging anything. Very nice kick out to the side. Your Kamino Clone Trooper is going to give you an excellent wide stance. That is his widest stance right there, which is absolutely awesome. Your twist is at the thigh and the ankle. It's going to go down for you like so. It's going to go up like so. And then of course you do have the rocker in the ankle that allows the ankle to go back and forth. Really cool. In the ab, he's gonna go down that far, back that far. Excellent left to right. And awesome range in the ab, very cool. In the head area, he's gonna go down that far, back or look up about that far, left to right. And you do have your little head nod right there. Excellent articulation with your Kamino Clone Trooper. Very, very cool. So for his accessories, we have his heavy duty weapon, which we've all seen with the other clones that we received in the line. No additional paint apps on here, just a simple matte black for the weapon, but very cool. And for the blaster, same deal, just a matte black. No additional paint apps, and obviously very similar to what we've already received in the line. Very, very cool stuff. One of the things that I wish they had improved for the Clone Trooper is to provide storage space for the additional blasters. So when these guys go into battle, you won't have to put both weapons in their hand. Maybe the side blaster can be stored off to the side. As we've seen with the First Order troopers, there's kind of a little slot on the thigh pad that allows like a little piece like this to slide into, and the figure can kind of hold that blaster off to the side there and still have his heavy weapon in his hand. But they, for some reason, don't want to give that to us with the clone troopers, and maybe it would be inaccurate. I don't know in the, I have to go back and take a look at the Clone Wars if we've ever seen those clone troopers who were wielding the heavy duty rifle, if they had their blasters off to the side. My assumption is that they would. You would need both weapons in battle. So again, a little disappointed that they did not provide us some sort of storage space for the side blaster for your figure here. So hopefully sometime in the future they may correct that and give us clones with the proper weapon storage. So as many of you know, the Kamino Clone Trooper has a face sculpt that is underneath the helmet. However, it is very difficult to remove because the head is somewhat glued, if you will, to the inside of the helmet. So you have to use hot water to kind of loosen it up. And even when you do get the hot water to loosen it up and you're able to get the helmet off, there's still going to be some residue on the face that you may have to remove, or maybe it might be on the hair. Some people had like a little bit on the hair, but it's very difficult to remove. And so in order to remove it, you're gonna need what I've been told is lighter fluid is a good solution. I didn't use lighter fluid, I just used the hot water and a couple of other methods to try to remove the residue off of the face. As you guys can see there is residue to the side of the face. Messed up the sculpt, but at the same time, kind of like a battle scar, if you will. So I'm gonna have my guy paint him up with the scars on it, and he'll obviously be one of my unique soldiers. So I have 4 other troopers that I got in, and I'm gonna remove the helmet on those guys, and hopefully I have a little bit more success than I did with this one. And then also, he looks a little milky, like Bishop from Alien after he gets torn up by the alien. But the reason for that is because when I tried to remove the residue, like I said, I used a couple other methods that weren't advisable, and it kind of discolored his face a little bit. So I tried to repaint it white just to get rid of the discoloration that I ended up doing. So when I put the helmet right back on, obviously you can't tell what the face sculpt looks like, and he's good as new. But I do plan on getting that painted up, as well as some of the other faces for the clone troopers that I picked up. And once I get those faces painted up, I'll do an update video to give you guys a look so you can see what it looks like. All right, guys, so it is diorama time. So we're gonna get a cool little diorama going with this guy and some of his compadres, and see what these guys look like in a diorama setting. Let's get started.